what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Moss Acura in North Tampa, and guess what? I have that bulletproof, sporty styled, three-row midsize SUV from this iconic Japanese brand. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2026 Acura MDX. This particular one is the A-Spec. But before we get into this all-wheel drive V6 powered midsize SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So the MDX, that really was the start for Acura when it comes to that sporty luxury SUV, that crossover SUV. Obviously now they have the RDX, they have the ZDX, which they're not making for 2026, and they have the all-new ADX, which is the smallest. Now with this MDX, what's fascinating is when you look at the competition and they're kind of downsizing their engines, Acura decided to keep their naturally aspirated V6. It's a proven power plant, and it's got that linear torque delivery that so many people enjoy driving down their favorite roads. But for 2026, there is actually something all new, and it's something that I have been asking Acura for years. It all comes down to the color. But before we get into that, what I want to find out is if you're looking for the most reliable mid-size three-row, this is a three-row, believe it or not, really should be a two-row. It's a three-row SUV that's got the sport, it's got the luxury. Is this the only way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2026 MDX A-Spec and find out. Right off the bat, it's the color. It's all about the color. All new double Apex blue. So they've had Apex blue for years. That's a darker blue. Nice blue. Don't get me wrong, it's been one of my favorites. But when I saw this at SEMA about, I would say now 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, they had it on the TLX concept vehicle, and I just knew that color had to get on a production vehicle. So at the front of the business, you're gonna see that updated look that just happened recently. You got your multi-jewel LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and your turn signals. Love the way they do that chicane daytime running lamp. And then they really went aggressive on the lower corners. Now, the major difference between this kind of aggressive look and the aggressive look on the Type S, which is the high performance version of the MDX, this is non-functional. So that is the Zonk non-functional. But you do have these large gloss black surrounds, LED fog lamps, and I like the way they sculpted the lower portion into that corner trim. It just would have been nice if there was some functionality up here, but definitely gives it an aggressive look, and it works nicely, I think, with the double Apex blue. Now, as we come across the front grille, love the way they decide to go frameless. You see how it's like the grille is just sunken in to the front fascia? Gives it a nice clean look. They brought this top portion and extended it down just to kind of emphasize what they've done, that interlace gloss black grille. And then as we work our way down, you have flat black on the lower grille, which is functional, and that nice body color lower lip. And with the sun peeking past the clouds, you could really appreciate this double Apex blue, nice bright metallic blue. But let me know what you think about the face of the 2026 MDX in this color, and let me know what you think about the A-Spec having those sportier touches. Now, as we rise up, hood is the same, nice clean folds, everything jets towards the A-pillars. And then as we come around the bend, of course, we gotta have some different wheels on the A-Spec. You're gonna get this multi-spoke shark gray design. They actually go throughout the Pacific, the Atlantic. They even go to the Arctic Ocean and get all the sharks that they can, and then choose a color that goes with all of them. And this is the color that they went with. Nice shark gray. Even the simple things like the gloss black lug nuts. It's just the little touches that I think Acura does so well. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? 20-inch wheel. Tires are going to be 255 on the width, 50 series sidewall. And remember, we have Acura's patented super handling all-wheel drive. So it's front-wheel drive base, but then it sends power to the rear wheels. My one zonk, you know where I'm going, right? What the heck? Flat black around the fender openings? At least do the gloss black like you did in those lower corners. That would have been a lot better. Or how about just paint them double apex blue, please, and thank you. But let me know what you think about the flat black around the fender openings, but I'm digging the wheels. They look good with the double apex blue. Coming down the side, they always style their badges really nicely. A-Spec badge, you got your gloss black on your mirror caps, LED turn signals. Love the way it's a clean design on the lower portion. From the side, I like the way there's no roof rails. Get rid of them. So many people don't even use them, and it just gives it a nice, clean, sporty look. You have color matched on the door handles, and then that almost like a butter knife trim that's gloss black, and then they finish it off with flat black on the bottom. Now working our way towards the rear, gloss black on the trim around your windows, including that nice size quarter glass. Coming around the back, the only thing I want to see next is I want to see, besides something with those fenders, is I want to get rid of this wiper. This wiper, how about pull the spoiler, pull the color match roof spoiler back a little further, and then take this and poke it and put it right underneath there. I think it would work out great. They're doing a fabulous job with their taillights. Love the LED, the A-Spec badge, the MDX, the super handling all-wheel drive. And then working it down to ground level, you do have dual outlet exhausts, stainless steel tips. They're clean. They sort of look like a vacuum cleaner or, you know, an HDMI type of thing. Maybe not HDMI, maybe like USB-C. Nah, C, A. Let me know in the comment section what you think they look like. I'm just glad they're there. It's better than what a lot of other brands do when they don't even show anything. And then I like the way they did the lower bumper. Nice, simple, clean with a little bit of gloss black. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about power from that naturally aspirated V6. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts to hold the hood open. And you got a tasteful engine cover here. I like the way they put the Acura badge. What do we got? It's that tried and true 3.5 liter V6, naturally aspirated, 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. Top speed is governed to 111 miles an hour. It weighs 4,800 pounds, MPGs 19 in the city, 25 on the highway. But man, every time I look at this Apex, this double Apex blue, it looks phenomenal. And if you're asking me, Joe, is double Apex a real thing? Yes, there is such a thing as hitting a double Apex corner in racing on a racetrack, or even your favorite twisty road could have a double Apex. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V6 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are in it to win it. We're inside this 2026. Yes, model year 2026, it's here. Acura MDX A-Spec, double Apex blue. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I think I'm finally ready to treat myself. I've been working hard. I provide for my family. I put up with all my kids' crap. Dad needs a new vehicle. And I can't get a sports car. I need an SUV, and I'm really liking this one. How much is it? You do deserve it, first of all. You do. Say it to yourself in the mirror. You do deserve it. MSRP for the way this one is spec'd is right at $64,000. Let's see what you get when you go MDX A-Spec to the door panels. Love the colors. Soft touch black, that red contrast stitching. You do have 3 memory seat settings, ambient lighting, that's real aluminum trim, 19 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system with that aluminum speaker grill cover, And then you have a door pocket large enough, I would say you could probably get 4 chili dogs from Checkers, some Checkers fries, and a banana milkshake to wash it down. But other than that, nicely done door panel. Going from the door panel to the dash, more of that soft touch, more of the red, more of the aluminum. This is where I have an issue. That's too much gloss black, people. When the sun shines down, it's gonna blind everybody. Look at all the fingerprints, the dust. This would have been nicer. If you just pull it, I'm not saying make all of this aluminum, just pull it down to like right here and make the bottom just gloss black. Red stitching, you do have a 12 volt here on the side, run a radar detector, and you do get the 12.3 inch touchscreen. You don't have to use a touchpad. Touchscreen infotainment system. It's got all the Google goodies. You could be a Googler, Amazon Alexa. You could do all your different ambient lighting. What's cool about the ambient lighting is they do it like in different modes. It goes like with your dynamic mode selection. So really kind of cool how, and they even have like racetracks. Suzuka, that's a very famous racetrack in Japan. And that Ferris wheel is actually there. They also do have a roller coaster there. Really cool. You even have your side swiper here, if you like to do a little side swiping from time to time. And then we're right back to where we started. Let me throw it into reverse. That's where it hurts, man. You know how you get punched below the belt? This is getting punched below the belt when it comes to backup cameras. Way too grainy. Come on. You can change the angle, which is nice, but it's grainy no matter which way you angle it. So that's a little bit of a zonk on a $64,000 SUV. And then we're right back where we started. Start-stop button illuminates bright red because it's on fire. You do have dual climate control, and you can control the rear AC as well. Nice toggle switches. This is your dynamic mode selector. Look at this. This is where it's like playing a freaking video game, man. Love the graphics, the different modes. Look at this one. Dun, 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 dun. They should have some like theme music. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, yeah, I borrowed a little bit from Mission Impossible, but I didn't do it all, so I'm not copywriting anything. You do have all your AC controls. 3 stages of heated seats, which is nice. 3 stages of ventilated seats. That's nice too. This push button setup is for your 10-speed automatic. Boop. USB-C, USB-A. Real volume knob. Acura Twinkie holder. Nice wireless charging. 2 cup holders. Open up the top. This is where you could put some cashews. Open up the bottom. We do have the key fob in here somewhere. Here it is. Acura key fob. 2 USB-Cs. And you got enough room. I would say you could put about 18 G.I. Joe figures in there. Cobra Commander, Destro. I miss the 80s, man. The 80s had the best cartoons and the best toys. I don't care what you say, because you weren't even there. I was. Seats, the leather, the microfiber, the stitching. Nice electric assist for the passenger, for the driver. Dark headliner, thank God. And you got that panoramic sunroof with the power shade. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you a steering wheel that looks like it belongs in an NSX in this MDX. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 3 memory seat settings, just like the passenger side. Love the pedal box. It's right out of a Acura ARX GTP car. Aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Of course, I was exaggerating just a little bit there. You do have your seat controls, easy to get to, and I like the way they put a little bit of trim on it. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel like this is me. Let me see if I can lower the seat. Just a little bit left. Steven didn't make it go too high this time, but just nicely laid out. Good headroom. Steering wheel, though, oh my God, you're gonna wanna rub your hands all over this all day long. Perforated leather, smooth, the red stitching, flat bottom, A-Spec badge. Even I dig the horn button. Even though it's not leather, it just looks clean. Flat black on the switchgear. You do have paddles to go up and down that 10-speed automatic. It is power tilting and telescoping. And then you have that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that when you change your mode, it actually changes up the screen a little bit, which is kind of cool. And you could do all your preferences as well. Other than that, the other thing that's I'm surprised missing is there's no head-up display. $64,000. But let's get into the mid-row and the third row and see if this is the right crossover for you. All right, guys, mid-row time, and this is where Acura really lays down the law on the competition. They do a great job because the seats are phenomenal. The leather, the Alcantara. You got large pockets. You could easily put 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in each pocket. If you do the math, that's 4 boxes of pure pleasure in your mouth with the cookies. Thin mints, do-si-dos. I like a good do-si-do, especially if you put them in the fridge. They're nice and cool. Command center, you do have your blower, your temperature, 2 AC vents. The interesting thing is there's no heated or ventilated seats back here, which is kind of sad for, I'm going to say it again, $64,000. You do have a home power source, which is not a 12 volt. There is no home power source. A 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs. They fooled me. I guess I should have read. I do like the manual sunshades, and the best part is the seats do slide, and wait for it, they recline a little bit. It's almost like a sad recline. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Sure. The best part is this middle seat. So you could do 3 across, or watch this, Transformers, more than meets the eye. Now you got captain's chairs. You could put some Skittles in here, your 2 drink holders, or you could actually remove the whole thing, which is great if you need the space. But why don't we go ahead? I'm gonna do it because I know you'll get upset if I don't. We're gonna get in that 3rd row and see how much room there is in this MDX. All right, guys, backseat time, and this is where it's at. Not really. This is where you don't want to be at. It's tight. I mean, let's just be honest. It's tight back here. My knees are too crunched. My feet, I don't even know where they are. I can't even see them because they're underneath the seats in front of me. And I did move this seat forward. So it's one of those things that if you're in a pinch, sure, squeeze somebody back here, but you're not going to want to normally have people sitting back here, especially on a long trip. But with that being said, let's get into the cargo area because I want to take you on a trip. I want to go on throttle in this MDX with you. All right, guys, cargo area time. Now, I did something that I think probably 85.6% of the owners of an Acura MDX are going to do. I have the 3rd row down. The reason why is the 3rd row, as you saw with me back there, is not very spacious. So I think most people, if they don't need the 3rd row, you're just going to have it down, and that's going to allow you so much more great usability. Now, on the driver's side, you do have a nice nook for a 6-pack of cold Yoo-Hoo. You do have a 12 volt. And then, of course, you have the ability to put down that mid-row. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what type of space do we have? Now, if you have the 3rd row up, it's going to be small. It's 16 cubic feet of space. Right now, you're looking at about 40 cubic feet of space, and then you fold down the mid-row, you're looking at 71 cubic feet of space. Another thing that's good that I love about these is you got great storage underneath. My only zonk with this is that I wish that they wouldn't have put the carpet in here, because this would be perfect for all the stuff that you take to the beach with you and the kids. And I remember when I used to vacuum my mom's station wagon as a kid, it's like you vacuum and you vacuum and you vacuum and you still can't get the sand out of the carpet in the car. So it would have been nice to just have that be like a plastic dry storage and make it easy for everybody. But why don't we go ahead and find out. I'm not cleaning this car. I'm not taking it to the beach. What I want to do is I want to go on throttle with that V6. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a spin in this double Apex Blue MDX and see how it goes. All right, guys, we're leaving Moss Acura of North Tampa. We're inside this 2026 Acura MDX A-Spec. I know it doesn't have the extra horsepower of the Type S, but the inside is done so nicely. It's the perfect blending of luxury and sport all together. I have it in sport mode. It's really easy to do. You just twist that aluminum dynamic control knob. If you push it in, that'll allow you to do your preferences and do your individual mode. Love the way that the digital gauge cluster is laid out. Great visibility. And of course, seeing that double apex blue on the hood, it looks fantastic. It really does. It's a great color. Visibility out the back is great. You have all of the Acura safety technology. And when you have it in sport mode, you'll notice, like right now I'm driving down the road here, it's holding the revs, the RPMs right between 2,000 and 3,000. So right around 2,500. If you put in a different mode like normal, then it drops those. So each mode really has a different feel to it based off of what mode you're in and what you are expecting out of your MDX A-Spec. Steering wheel, fantastic. Another thing that Acura always does well is the communication through the steering wheel. And you'll notice that when we go through some twisty bits. But it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. The gloss black is just a little much. I mean, I'm okay with the gloss black around where the shifter is, the push button. But the gloss black across the midsection, it's just too much. It's just way too much. Another thing you're gonna notice is the way they reshape the center console. It's actually more comfortable to utilize by putting your arm on. And you got your wireless charging. I mean, smack dab where you want it. And getting to that new 12.3-inch infotainment system, well within reach. They actually were able to work on the processor, get the processor to function a little faster. And just everything well sorted in here. Love how they added more stitching. Just really makes it even feel more special in here. All right, guys, pulling away from the lights. This is where you're really gonna enjoy the MDX, because with that V6, the torque delivery is so linear, so smooth. And without any kind of turbocharger, obviously the reliability is really where you want it to be. Especially when you're spending $64,000 on a new vehicle. But it rides really well. There's a little bit of road noise, but that could be something as simple as the tires that are on this particular one, the brand. Remember, manufacturers work with different tire companies, and you could buy one MDX at one dealership in one area and another one in another area, and they're the same MDX spec, and you can have totally different tires, totally different brand tires, and just some brands are noisier than others. So there is a little bit of road noise, no wind noise, which is good. And I also like the way your blind spot monitoring is not on the glass of the mirror, it's actually inside, right by the A-pillar. That's really smart. It's much easier to see and to recognize. The placement of the paddles are in a good location, and yes, they're plastic, but they're a good size, and they actually feel like metal, even though that they are plastic. Love the way you could scroll through. Look at this. You could bring up your maps on your dash, scroll through all that information, your all-wheel drive, your G meter. So really nice to see the availability of information exactly when you need it, exactly when you want it. But let's see how the on throttle is, especially with the super handling all-wheel drive. I'm gonna come to a stop. Nobody's behind us yet. On throttle, here we go. Nice shifts from the 10-speed. On the brakes. Here we go. Just so buttoned up, very well planted. If you're wondering what is sliding around in the back of the vehicle, it's the all-weather floor mats. So they're just in the cargo area, no big deal. But as you can see, just very, very controllable. It doesn't have a ton of body roll, which is nice. And the all-wheel drive works superb. It really, really does. Even the way the transmission shifts on the downshifts, it's very, very smooth, and it keeps the chassis nice and stable. Let's see how a U-turn goes here. Not too bad, not too bad. There we go. You just had to use a little bit of that side street, but other than that, not too shabby. I love the all-wheel drive gauge. You could change it to a G meter if you want to. Tack across the top. Let's manually shift with the paddles. So you do have a gear indicator. Third gear. Second gear. Are you ready? On throttle. Here we go. Nice. Very composed. Very balanced. Really nicely done. And if you want more performance, you can get more performance with the Type S. Shifts are smooth, whether you're going up the gears or down the gears. And the steering wheel feels amazing. It just feels absolutely amazing. But I hope that this has been a good overall review of this 2026 Acura MDX A-Spec in double Apex Blue. We're gonna get back to Moss Acura and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Moss Acura North Tampa. Definitely gotta thank Albert and the rest of the team getting us access to this double Apex Blue MDX A-Spec. Let me know what you think. For the money, for what's underneath the hood, is this the most reliable luxury sport midsize crossover SUV? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise family. Gotta give it to Stephen Flood. He's been practicing his moves. He's been doing a little bit of shaking, a little bit of baking, and everything in between. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.